It's that time again where we show you some of the coolest kit that we've been sent in to test and review for the magazine and the website. It's been a particularly busy month for kit launches, so we've got some really good stuff this month. So without further ado, let's have a look at some of the kit. So first up, you can't help but not notice we've got this beautiful bike here. This is Specialized brand spanking new Stumpjumper. I'm not going to go into too much detail because Danny's already done a really in-depth video at the launch, the link of which is in the description below. But this is the Expert Carbon 29 version. So it's a full carbon frame. Then we've got RockShox pike, suspension fork on the front. It's 150mm travel. And then at the back of this, 140mm travel with a RockShox rear shock there as well. SRAM NX Eagle, and we've got the guide for piston brakes on this as well. The other big thing, we've got Roval's carbon wheels on there. So that's the Expert Carbon. Hopefully we're all going to get a chance to ride this. Looking forward to that. So next up we've got DVO's new Beryl fork. So the Beryl is a stripped down version of the Diamond, which is their top of the range fork. It doesn't have the same level of adjustments, but it still has the same basic features. It's still got the D2 damper on here, but this has been reduced to just 3 different settings from soft to firm at the top using the lovely green lever at the top here as well. It still has DVO's OTT, that's their off the top. This is their preload, so it's effectively a negative spring, but rather than having a dial to adjust this, this is actually now internally adjustable. So you still can change it so it has an impact on small bump sensitivity without having an impact on the mid-stroke or the top ends on the fork. Obviously rebound's still on here, so that's still adjustable. This particular one is the 29er, so this is set at 150mm travel, but you can just swap spaces inside to take it from 140 all the way through to 160mm travel on the 29er. And with the 29er as well, it is plus compatible, so it will take a 27.5-inch wheel with a tyre of 2.8 to 3 inches as well. The other thing about it is it now has their Allen key quick release axle. I say quick release, obviously you still need an Allen key, but it's lighter than the standard DVO axle on here as well to keep the overall weight down. So that's the new Beryl. This retails at £649, so it's a lot cheaper than the Diamonds, and you've got this really cool mudguard as well, which is always a bonus. So next up we've got a trio of parts from FSA. First up we've got their Flowtron dropper post. So the market seems to be a bit super saturated with dropper posts at the moment, so it does take some unique features for something to stand out, and the Flowtron does have a couple of those up its sleeve. So first up, it's available in all of the common sizes, so it's a 150mm drop, or they do a shorter 125mm drop, and in both 30.9 and 31.6 diameter. The retail is going to be around about £300 for this particular post, and those unique features I was talking about, first of all, you can adjust the way that the lever feels. So if you like the lever to be a nice light action or a much firmer action to give you more feedback, that can be adjusted depending on how you set the spring at the bottom of the post here. And talking about lever, the lever for the Flowtron is quite a neat aluminium one. Okay, it's quite similar to a lot of them, but it sits a little bit proud compared to some of the others, and the lever pad for your thumb is angled as well, so it gives a real good level of ergonomics on here as well. So that's the Flowtron. Next up we've got their Gradient handlebar and stem. So the Gradient is a mid-price setup, so it's not as cheap as some of the other FSA, but it's not their top end, so it's still an aluminium handlebar. So if we look at the bar first of all, this has figures that are fairly similar and fairly standard to most handlebars. 800mm, so it is also available in a 760mm width as well. This is the 25mm rise. Back sweep is 9 degrees, so fairly common, fairly standard, and it's also got a 6-degree up sweep, which is a little bit more than some others on there. Looks pretty damn neat in terms of the graphics as well on here. We've got a nice sort of gloss section here, and then a very long sort of knurled section, which will give your grips and all your controls a good level of grip on there. That's the Gradient handlebar. Then the matching stem. Okay, so this is the Gradient 40mm version. They do a 60mm version as well. Not that a lot of people will be sort of too interested in that, but the 40mm version is very neat. Both, obviously, the handlebar and the stem are aluminium, and we are looking at around about £89.95 for the handlebar and $79.95 for the stem. Okay, so recently the guys from Continental dropped in to showcase some of their new tyres. Now Continental are one of those brands that don't tend to stick to model years. When they've got developments and improvements, they tend to sort of like put them out when they are ready. So they've had a big revamp of their range, and quite frankly, with a lot of the tyres, they probably needed it. So we've got two different versions here at the moment. We've got their brand new Trail King. So this is one tyre that was very, very popular, but still had a few issues with it. So talking first of all, they are now selling three different types of tyre in terms of their compound and their construction. This is the top end version. Okay, so this is what they call their Protection Apex version on here. So we've got reinforced sidewalls and the black chili compound. So it's their sort of top end rubber compound on here. The difference is obviously they've completely changed the way that the tread pattern looks and the way the tyre sits on the rim as well. So it's a much bigger and truer size now. So this is available in a 2.2 inch and a 2.4 inch tyre. This is the 2.4 inch tyre, and obviously, like a lot of other brands, they do a 27.5 and a 29. But the good news is for you old school guys is they are still producing 26 inch tyres. So all of the range is available in 26 inches as well. As I said, top of the range Trail King, we're looking at around about $59.95 in that Protection Apex. But where Continental are really, really sort of like happy and really wanting to shout about at the moment is in their mid-range tyres. So they've now brought out an entirely new performance range. This retails at $34.95 across all of the different models. And the one that they're really, really happy with is their brand new Mountain King. So if you'd used the Mountain King before, you probably will not recognize this one. This is a completely redesigned tyre, so new tread pattern. It's designed to work in lots of different conditions. You've got a much more open tread, and all of the knobs have been redesigned there for better grip and better wear. So the Protection version is going to retail at $34.95, and as I said, it's available in all of the different types. Now, what you've got in here is you still have a reinforced sidewall and obviously the Kevlar bead, so the folding bead on here. And if we go back to the Mountain King itself, this is available in a 2.3 inch tyre. So this is 2.3, and like the Trail King and like a lot of the other Continental tyres, it's available in 27.5 and 29, plus that 26 inch tyre size as well. So we've got some new tyres there from Continental. Now obviously if you've got some new tyres, you're going to need a pump to be able to seat them and pump them up. And we've got this beast of a pump from Blackburn here. This is their chamber. So as you could imagine, this is designed for use with tubeless tyres. So not only is it a standard pump, but we've got a tubeless chamber in here as well. So by flicking this big chunky aluminium switch on the side, what we can do is you can prime the pump, so you can fill this chamber full of air, and then that will obviously allow you and help you to seat your tubeless tyres. This is designed to pump up to over 140 psi. Okay, if you look at that big dial at the top there, we've got a big green area, and that's between 140 and 160 psi, which sounds a lot, but that's how much pressure that will take. That should make any tyre seat in an instant. And for those of you that worry about doing that when you've got such high pressures and those tyres and that horrible noise that happens, this comes with a 4-foot long hose, so you can chuck your wheel way further away from you than a normal pump, and it means then you're in no danger whatsoever if it does actually pop off and fly sealant everywhere. The other neat features about this pump is obviously it's got a handlebar rather than a standard handle on here. So it uses a 31.8 inch standard stem mount on here. So if you want to, you could fit an 800mm bar like this, and you could get a little bit of sneaky practice in as well. And you've got standard handlebar grips on there as well. So there's a couple of real neat features to the Blackburn chamber. It's a completely solid unit, okay? This should last a lifetime. The head is replaceable and has all aluminium parts to it, including a bleed valve on there as well. So you've got plenty of features that will keep you pumping those tyres up until the cows come home. Retail on this is $124.99, but as I said, this should last you an entire lifetime. So that's the chamber pump from Blackburn. Okay, we don't like to talk about things like security and bikes being stolen, but it is a fact of life, and so a good lock is something that most of us should have either at home or when you're traveling with your bike. And Abus have brought out a new version of their Bordo lock. This is the Bordo alarm. Now, it's neater and easier to carry than a standard D-lock, but it's still a very, very solid item. So this is a soled secure silver level lock, so it means it will withstand a lot of abuse. But what makes this one a little bit unique is it's got a 100 decibel alarm attached to it. So by setting this, what you end up doing is you end up setting a very, very, very loud alarm. So any knocks to the bike or any movement to the bike, it will sound a little warning that will last for 5 seconds, and if that continues, then it will set off an ear-splitting shriek. Now, I don't really want to demonstrate it right now because I value my hearing, but trust me, this is super loud. It's quite a heavy lock, but then it's substantial, as I said. So that is something that a lot of people might really want to consider having at home or when they travel. The Abus Bordo alarm retails at $139.95, which sounds like a lot of money, but if you think about how much your bike is worth, it's basically worth every single penny. It's 5mm thick solid steel bars on here. These are hardened, so it should take a lot to break through this particular lock. So for a bit of security, can't really get much better than that. But Abus don't just produce locks. We've also got one of their brand new Abus Montrailer Ace MIPS mountain bike helmets. Now this is their Enduro helmet. It's got a very distinctive look compared to a lot of the helmets on the market. So it's very cutaway. We've got some big vents on here, and the interesting thing as well is the visor, which obviously is compatible with goggles and everything else like that, is actually a little bit translucent, so you can see through that visor. So you can probably, well, you might be able to see my fingers there. What this means is when you're riding, it just gives you a little bit of extra protection, but it doesn't obscure your vision completely. So it has an effect of having quite a unique look for this helmet. It's got quite a distinct shape as well, so well cut out. There's also a few sort of uniquely shaped vents on here. Can you tell what car brand it might have also been designed with in conjunction with, just by looking at this little bit? You know, answers in the comment section below if you think you can recognize what sort of brand that is. The other thing that I really like about this helmet is it's got one of the magnetic buckles. Okay, it's a little thing, but it just makes it so much easier to get on and off. So just plop on and it's locked in place. Completely secure, so you don't need to worry about that popping off, but it's something that can just save a couple of seconds as well. So as I said, it's the MIPS version. So this is the one with the liner to help to reduce those rotational impacts on your skull. They do a lower version, or actually they do two different versions as well. The good news is, obviously from a price point of view, $149.95 is the top end. So it's quite competitive with a lot of the other brands. So that's Abus's Montrailer Ace MIPS helmet. Next up, and talking about personal safety, Endura have got some new pads. So we've got some new elbow and knee pads. These are their single track light. So if you're somebody that likes to pedal long distances but still likes to have a little bit of protection, then these are right up your street. They are very, very lightweight and use just a lycra sleeve for retention, but they do have quite a thick foam pad at the front on here. So very, very light, and we've got two just thin elastic grippers at the top and the bottom, but that overall stretchy sort of fabric should make them a little bit cooler to wear and should make them a little bit more comfortable to pedal in. So these are their knee pads. They're available in small and medium and large, extra large. And the same goes with their elbow pads as well. So the elbow pads, even thinner, even lighter. So a little bit less protection than a lot of other pads, but if you just want that little bit of reassurance if you're out on a long ride, then they could be right up your street. So we are looking at $49.99 for the knee pads and $44.99 for the elbow pads. So that's Endura's brand new single track light pad system. So two totally different things next. So first up, we've got Hornit Clug. Now, this strange looking device is actually a bike rack. Okay, this is their mountain bike version, and this will take a bike with tyres of up to a 2.5. So for most of us, this would actually be pretty good. So all you do is you attach it to the wall, then your tyre goes in and it holds your bike nice and steady. It could be mounted at low level to keep your bike horizontal, or if you're somebody that likes to have their space in their shed, then you can mount these quite high up on the wall and mount your bikes vertically. Very lightweight. They come in loads of different colours and different sizes as well. So if you've got road bikes and hybrids as well, they do smaller versions of this. But really, that's a very, very neat system for storing your bikes nice and safely. And the great thing about it is it's pretty cheap. So this is $15.99 for the mountain bike one, and their smaller ones are actually a little bit less than that. So Hornit Clug, pretty neat, pretty light, and something that everybody really should have in their shed. Okay, this little package from IGL Coatings is their new bike protector. It's a little bit different to a lot of things on the market. What you do with this is designed to protect the finish of your bike and protect your entire bike from mud, salt, and all that usual damage that can occur when you ride your bikes all the time. So basically, it's a liquid that you wipe onto your bike, and this creates a coating that will protect everything. And it actually limits the amount that mud will stick to it. We've not had a chance to actually test this out yet, but I'm going to be doing this on a couple of different bikes, and we're going to find out exactly if this makes a difference in terms of looking after your bike. This is a 10 milliliter amount of liquid, and this is enough to coat 2 complete bikes. So you're only really supposed to use a few drops to actually protect your entire frame. Now, it sounds a bit weird, sounds a bit strange that this is all you need, but with the applicator and everything else here, then it should be something that should be quite simple to do. I'll try and produce a video just to sort of show you the process as well, because it does look like something that, you know, everybody should be interested in. So you just put a few drops onto here, and then wipe that over your frame, leave that for a few hours, let it dry, and apparently it's a coating then that's harder than all of the surfaces that are on the bike as they are. Obviously you don't coat things like your tyres or your drivetrain, but all those other bits, it should protect it. So as I said, that little bottle there is enough to do 2 bikes. It's $79.95 for the kit, but as I said, 2 bikes, and if it's going to protect your bikes for a long time, then it should be worth it. It's supposed to be UV protectant as well, so if you've got a really bright paint job, it's going to help protect that. Same goes, it's safe to use on carbon, aluminium, titanium, whatever type of frame material you're using. The kit comes with everything you need to actually apply to all of the frames. So we've got the applicator sponge, we've got then the little brushes and the cloth as well, so you can get into all those little places. It's also got some degreaser as well, so this is the pre-coat, so you can clean your bike first of all, and apparently you can obviously then use this to clean your bike during riding as well, so it's a proper nice degreaser. It's all eco-friendly, so you don't have to worry about damaging the environment by using it, but it should be something that a lot of us are interested in. If you've got an expensive bike and you want to keep it looking as pristine as possible, then this is right up your street. So that's IGL's Bike Protector. And probably one of the most exciting products of this month is SRAM's brand new NX Eagle group set. So this is their new budget 12-speed group set. Now, Danny's got this at the moment, so it's over to him to tell us a little bit more about this.
So NX Eagle, in a nutshell, it is still 12-speed, wide-range drivetrain. So you get the 50 tooth, but you sacrifice at the high end in terms of the 10 tooth, that's gone. You get an 11 to 50 cassette, 12 speed, much more affordable, £365 for the drivetrain, that's £130 saving over GX Eagle. You get stamped steel cassette rather than having the alloy 50 tooth. You get a stamped steel chainring. You get cross compatibility with all of the other 12-speed Eagle drivetrains in the SRAM range, and you're going to almost certainly see this on a lot of bikes in 2019 at the lower end of the range. One other thing, e-bike compatible, so it should be very durable because e-bikes put a lot of strain through their drivetrains, and doesn't fit on an XD driver body, fits on a Shimano style splined cassette body, so a lot easier for people to upgrade to this drivetrain if they've got older wheels. That pretty much is NX drivetrain in a nutshell.
So there you have it, loads of great kit for us to ride and review this month. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to keep up with our latest releases. And if you've got any products you'd like to see us showcase and test, put it in the comment section below.